Okay, hey guys, it's Amy. So we wanted to do a recording tonight and kind of go back to basics on everything about what we do on this team. And Meg and I kind of wanted to clear up some things, maybe answer some questions, and kind of give you just a rundown of the day to day of what we're doing here and what are we. So to start that, um, so we right now you would probably see lots of things that say team inspiration and lots of things that say team and powerhouse. And what that really means is that everyone in team inspiration is under me. Everyone here is from me down. And then once you become a leader, like Meg is a leader, she's a one-star diamond coach. And once she became diamond, she created her own team, which is kind of what everyone does. You kind of make your own team, and she's Team and Powerhouse. So if you're under Meg, you're part of Team and Powerhouse as well as Team Inspiration. So I just for new coaches, when you come on, signed you up is going to be team. And then as you become a leader, you can create your own team. Like I know Sherilyn and Nicole, they're kind of like on our sister teams and they have their own teams as well. So we're all kind of just this big family working together. And we asked on the team page today what kind of things you would want to learn from us today. And one thing that came up that we said we would talk about is what we do with the Coach Online Office, or COO, which is what we refer to it, and people are
You're
going,
frozen.
what's COO? I'm frozen.
Yeah, you were. You're okay now.
Okay, so we're just going to talk about what to do on the COO, the Coach Online Office. Meg, do you want to answer that? Just and I'll add in with what I.
Sure. Yep. So I may do things differently than Aaron. I'm not sure. I remember when I first started, I very rarely checked it. I didn't really even know what I was doing on it. But then as I started growing my team, I really started focusing on keeping my rank. First time and little tiny bit ruby, but mostly diamond. I started really focusing on what's called the sponsorship drill down. So the first thing that I do in the honestly, when I go into my Coach Online office, is I check my previous office view to look at any recent orders that came in. I've noticed that in the Coach Online office, if you actually just check for like my orders, it's very slow to update. Success Club points are very slow to update. It takes a while for the Coach Online office to really be in real time. I found that if you go to the previous office view, I don't know, what it used to be called, maybe the back office, I don't know.
The back office?
Yeah, the back of the back. I found that going there first is like when someone puts an order in, like within minutes, it will show up. So I always go there first to check what new orders came in. And if it was a challenge pack, it will say you can click on it, you can look at the invoice, and you can see exactly what was ordered. And then I'll just make sure that throughout the day, I'll keep checking to make sure that my points actually were updated in the queue. Another really important thing that I mentioned earlier is rank and looking at your coaches. And the sponsorship drill down is a really essential part of assessing that. A lot of people will go to graphical genealogy. Don't. It's very confusing. It's going to show you, it's not updated quickly. It will show you your non-PS, your PS. It will show you who Joe Schmo put underneath you 2 years ago. It's not reliable. So don't go to graphical. Really, unless you're going to do preferred placement, then I kind of look at it for that. But really what you need to do is you need to look at your sponsorship drill down. And that's going to show you, it's going to show your left leg first, and then it's going to show your right leg. And if you go to expand all levels, you can go in and you can see basically through 5 levels deep who is going to be, who's active, who's inactive, who's projected to be inactive, and those will be your reds. Those are the ones I like to focus on. If it's one of my PS coaches and if they're red, that means that come next Thursday, let's say it's a Saturday morning and I notice that someone's red. They have until Thursday to get the volume that they need to maintain their rank, or else they will be considered inactive. Does it affect them? yeah, it could affect them in that they will lose rank potentially. They could lose team cycle. They could lose whatever they were going towards in terms of that, but it's not going to, it's not really, if someone wants to become inactive, I can make them stay active. Like, it's just, their order, they wanted to delay their shipment, that's fine. So really to focus, the long and short of it is this: I look at the sponsorship, go down to see who's red, and then if I see someone that is red, I will talk to them, just kind of check in on them, see how they're doing. And I'm trying to think what else I do. I use it also to focus on preferred placement. So if I notice that, let's say, someone is lose their emerald on Thursday if they don't get an active coach, I message them and say, hey, I just want to let you know that it looks like you may lose your emerald on Thursday. If you don't care, that's cool. If you do care, we can work on it. It's not a big deal. I don't want to put pressure on people or make people feel like they have to maintain rank. It's not about that at all. But just to kind of let them know, because some people don't use their coach online office that way. So I don't really check emails very often because I don't really get many emails. What about you, Erin? Anything?
So I totally agree about the sponsorship drill down. It's the view I use the most to check out how the team is doing and what everybody's doing as far as Success Club points, and that's more for when you have a team and you're growing your team. If you're newer and you're just starting out, what do you use the coach online office for? Your orders. When you first log in, you'll see that bar graph to see your volume. If you see the volume on that graph go up, then you have orders somewhere, and you should be reaching out to those people and thanking them for their order and following up with them. And one thing I like to also keep track of on the main page is my right and left leg volumes. Once you're at emerald or above, then that makes a difference, and you can kind of see what your weak leg is and what your strong leg is, and kind of plan to balance that out so that you can maximize your team cycle volume. And also I see if I have new customers and welcome them and send them an email, and if you have any new coaches, and all the notifications that pop up on the left and the bottom, because we don't get emailed for that. That's just, you have to go in and look. So if you're a new coach and you're like, oh, where do I see, will it tell me if someone orders? No, it will not. You have to go in and look. So those notifications on the left, at the bottom left, are where you're going to find that. And beyond that, I don't spend too much time doing other things. I'll check the updates on the right-hand side to see if there's any news that I don't already know. Sometimes there is, and it surprises me. So definitely check there for quick updates. And all of this should only take you, a few minutes a day. It shouldn't be too time-consuming. Anything else, Meg?
The other thing too, sorry, I'm restarting my computer. It just made a really loud noise. The other thing too that I wanted to tell you is that if you have a customer, let's say you have someone who said that they ordered from you and you're not seeing it, chances are it maybe had gone to another coach, and so what you would need to get that transferred to you and have you be their coach is you need their order number and the email that they use to place the order. And I found that won't necessarily show up when you go to your coach online office and you look at new customers. It won't show up there. I've noticed that recently with me, I'd have to actually go into customer search and type in their name, and then it will show up. So it's kind of, I don't know if you guys have had any issues with that, but that's where if you just keep looking for a customer and you don't find them as a notification, type their name in, make sure it's definitely not there, and then if it isn't, then have the order transferred to you.
I had that problem a year ago, 2 years ago, actually, this month, when I really started working the business. I think I had 5 customers that happened to, and I learned very quickly to use either the mobile link so that I could see, because it won't let you add them if they have a coach, or just making sure that you ask them, are you already working with a coach? I think that's huge, because we are growing and growing and growing, and while they may not necessarily be working with that coach, if they've worked with somebody at one point, there's a good chance that that coach has them underneath them. So to alleviate all of that, I usually will have them call and place their order. I think it's happened twice in the last 6 months. It hasn't happened in a long time, but I think twice in the last 6 months I've had to do it again.
Wow.
Yep, very good point, because once you are assigned to a coach, you're assigned to them forever. So even if they order through you and they already have a coach, then it goes to that other coach. So make sure that if someone wants to order from you, that they are connected to you first. Also, the frequently asked questions section is on the Coach Online Office.
Right.
Right.
I look at some of the training sometimes too, just depending, because some of the newer coach training is okay. So I do sometimes send them in there for some of the simpler stuff, depending on what it is. But that's me.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you have time and you want to look around, there's a knowledge that you can, get lost in, really. But for the day-to-day stuff,
Yeah.
This is what we use, and I think that's what Lindsay wanted to know, that how we were using.
Yeah, but don't spend much time there. Really, just focus on your previous office view to check your most recent orders, and then just on that left-hand side volume, any new coaches, and new customers. So I found that if you wanting to email your new customers, you'll get the email address from the coach on the previous office view. So you will play around with information you get from one place to another. Do you want me to talk about monthly stuff, Eric?
Sure.
Like the stuff every month? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of new coaches are, we've had a lot of new coaches join the team, and Erin and I just wanted to give a brief overview of what to expect every month. We've sort of developed in the last, 6 months, we've kind of developed, I think it's always been changed, but we're kind of gotten into the groove, and it seems to be working right now with momentum. So what we're doing right now is every month we have 4. Basically, there is a live event going on every single week, and how we plan it is we alternate. Usually, Thursday of the month, we'll do a live coach happy hour, which is just where we talk about the coaching. We invite people to join our team. We discuss really what coaching is all about, how there's different types of coaching, and we hold on. Let me see if I over here. Okay. Can you guys hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm in my basement. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me turn the light on.
It's like magic.
Okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay. All right, let me go back. All right, so every month we do 4 live events, and the first is the Coach Happy Hour, which I just talked about, and then the next week we typically will do the featured program of the month. So like last month it was the challenge pack that was on sale was the hammer and chisel, or this month it's 21 Day Fix. So we'll do a whole live event exactly what 21 Day Fix is. We're going to talk about the program. We're going to share testimonials, give away free prizes. That's usually the second Thursday of the month. And then the third, we usually will go back and do another coach happy hour. And I'll talk about the reason why we do it 2 times in a month. And then the very last Thursday of the month, we do a Shakeology live event where we talk about Shakeology, because a lot of people think it's a protein drink. There's a lot of misconceptions about it. And so we provide a lot of information about exactly what Shako is and how awesome it is and how it's so important with your fitness. I think it's even more important than your fitness routine, because it's a huge part of your results is your nutrition, right? And then just to go back, the reason why we do 2 coach happy hours a month is that, I don't even know if it was for our diamond training or what, Erin, but I just remember we had a talk where someone was talking about the importance of building your team. And if you're not building your team, and if you're not adding coaches, you're not going to grow your business. And so really the most important thing is to just share the opportunity. And so we found that really providing information as to what coaching is and what our team is all about, and dispelling all the myths and the rumors, that we can educate people as to what it is, and then that helps to build our team and grow our family. So that's pretty much what we do in terms of live events. And then Erin, do you want to talk about Coach Basics and Emerald, since that kind of changed recently?
Yep, definitely. So I'm actually going to do like a breakdown of the very simple process that we've put in place for everybody and how we do it now. And it goes along with what Meg was saying. So like Meg was saying, if you have big goals in this business, you have to focus on building people and adding people to your team. Bottom line, 90% of what you're doing is going to be trying to find people who want to do this with us. And how do we do that? Okay, so at the very minimum, going back to the super basic, you're going to be doing your workout, drinking your shake, and posting about it every day. And then when you have people that like what you're talking about and they say, hey, I want to do this with you, say, great. You add them to your challenge group. And you support them in your challenge group. You build relationships in your challenge group. You invite them to the live events for coaching, for anything, and ask them if they want to become a coach. They say yes, and then what's the next step? You put them in Coach Basics. And Coach Basics is once a month, at the first Monday of every month now is what we're doing. We used to just run it continually, but now we're doing it once a month on the first Monday of every month, because now once they get through Coach Basics, they're going to be put into a 1 week long push to Emerald training to get, for those people that want to build their business, to get past just the basics. And that's the last week of every month. So what have they learned at this point? Now they've gone through basics, now they're a coach, and now they can repeat the process. And the system is all there for you guys, for everybody that comes in as a new coach, to put them back through these trainings. And in Coach Basics, you'll learn, make the post, do your workout, make a post, have people comment on it, invite them to your group, build a relationship in the group. They want to become a coach, and it's repeating over and over again. What we're doing is not magic. It's super simple, repeating the same thing over and over again. And I've been doing this for almost 5 years now. And just in the last few years, working really close with Meg, we've come up with this system that is super easy and works well. What do you think, Meg?
And then too, another thing that we've only done it once, but we can talk about maybe when we want to institute it again, but we do have a diamond training that Erin and I did back in October, September. I can't remember.
It was
in the fall.
Yeah, it was back in the fall.
Yeah. And so once they go through the Emerald training, really ultimately the next thing is to put diamond. Yep. And what does that mean and how that benefits you? Yeah, so diamond training is another really important stepping stone. And then from there, that's really the training that from there just becoming multi-star based upon your downline. So used about rank, it starts with Emerald and then it goes to Ruby and Diamond. Oftentimes people will go right from Emerald to Diamond. And then just depending upon how many people on your team Diamond, that means that you're a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 3 diamonds under you. It depends on which level, but ultimately, that's how it goes. So if anyone's confused as to what does all of this mean, it really means that you're growing your business. You obviously, and you want to continue to build your team. And for some people, you may not want to do that, and that's totally fine. I'm just like discounting this. For those of you who are interested in doing that, those are the stepping stones to grow your business.
Right, exactly. And I think you broke up some, but I think what you're saying is that, if we do these things, it's the stepping stones to build your business, and we're providing the first steps to get you where you want to go. One of the other questions that was asked of us is, when is a good time to follow up after an event, etc.? So I'm going to say that the best time to follow up after an event is directly after the event, because we're excited, They just came off of this high energy, awesome event where, honestly, if I don't talk to people that night, then they're probably not committing at that point, and they're probably waiting to, I'll try again at the next event. But usually, right after the event is when I'll talk to them. If you're talking about following up in general, I follow up, the next day, then maybe 2 days later, and then maybe at the end of the month if they wanted something that was on sale that was going to not be on sale, at the end of the month. But following up is really super important. I think sometimes we don't follow up enough, and we kind of just give up because we're like, oh, we hear some objections, but how many times are you not sure before you go and buy something? So follow up lots, and just means not right now. Even 6 months from now, people will come back to me and say, oh, you know what, I think I want to do that now. So don't give up on people, and always just offer your support, and people will recognize that that you really do want to help them. And Meg, add to that about
No, I
following
think
up.
that was great.
And,
Follow up immediately. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And finding new people to share with. I think this is like the number one question I get asked is, where do I find people to talk to? A bunch of places. First and foremost, the like page, Facebook like page, and running ads on your Facebook like page. Boosting posts on your like page and running ads for likes to find new people to talk to. Another good place that I really like is Facebook groups, like groups that you're part of, that's something you're interested in. Like I'm in breastfeeding groups and mom groups, and I just find people to talk to in there all the time. And I'm not like, because you'll see it. I mean, who's in a group that's seen a very salesy Beachbody coach in there? And it's no wonder that sometimes we get these, stereotypes on us for just being super salesy. But that's not what we're there for. That's not what I'm suggesting to do. I'm saying go in and post about the things that you actually like and make friends. And, when you make friends with people, then it kind of just happens naturally. Where else, Meg? Where else do you find people to talk to?
Well, I think Nicole had a good comment. So when you're first starting out, you're going to use your warm market, right? So it's your friends, your family. It's the people that you know. You went to high school with them. You went to college with them. These are people that you work with. So that's considered your warm market. And I give your warm market probably 4 or 5 months before that dries out. And you'll know it because you'll be in a slump and you'll be like, what just happened? Where are all my customers? So that's when I think I was very late to start a like page. I think that now we're training our new coaches to get these like pages up quick because Facebook has changed a huge amount in the last year. And that's really making us tell our new coaches to start like pages pretty quickly. And the reason for that is because we aren't allowed really to post I hate the word salesy, but we're not allowed to post things promoting our business on our personal pages. They will ding you and they can shut you down if they find it. That's never happened to anyone personally that I know, but I know that it happens. So that's why they're forcing us really to use a like page. So you get this like page set up, and you're realizing that there's no traffic, that people aren't seeing your stuff, that only 5% of people actually see your things. And the reason for that is because, unfortunately, it's a business and you have to pay in order for people to see your things. And I did a little webinar thing with Shalene maybe a week or so ago. And the reason for this is because Facebook used to be the only game in town for a while. And so they had this monopoly, and now there's a gajillion social media sites. And so now they're vying for people's attention. And so really, to get your voice heard and seen, you have to pay. You have to pay for ads, for boosting. We're not talking tons of money, like $3-5 just to get your things seen, because you're going to find that your things on your like page aren't going to be seen. But it's really the only alternative that we have right now to grow our business, because Facebook keeps changing. So I think that's the long and short of it, is the warm market are friends, family, coworkers. And then once you exhaust that, then you get into the cold market. But I think it's a smart idea for new coaches to get their like pages up pretty quickly, so that way they can have an easy transition.
Yep, I agree.
I agree too. Does anyone have any other questions about finding people, or still not sure where to go from there? I mean, I'll tell you that. So this is my 26th month in a row hitting Success Club, and pretty much every single month I wonder where I'm going to find people to talk to, and it just keeps happening. If you just keep doing those basic things that we just keep saying over and over again, it happens. It does work, and stay consistent with it. Every month, and it'll happen. You'll find those people. They are there. There's always people that are going to want to get in shape. Always.
Right. And I think that's a big part of it too, is the consistency piece, because even if you're inviting 2 or 3 people a day and you're not getting any responses back, just send out those invites. Just do it anyway, because you never know, even if they look at it and ignore you, at least, they looked at it, or at least it's there, and that it's in the back of their mind as maybe an alternative. Maybe they haven't hit that point in their life where they feel like they need it. Maybe in 6 months they will, and they're going to remember you, and they're going to remember that you're consistently posting and that you're walking the walk and talking the talk. Because that's the whole thing that makes us authentic and who we are, is that we're doing this. We're in the trenches. We're not just telling people what to do, and we're not even like doing it ourselves. That's what proof of the product is, right? So that's the biggest, most important thing as advice I can give to new coaches, is the 3 vital behaviors. Don't worry about all the fluff and stuff. Focus on the 3 vital behaviors first, because you're going to get overwhelmed with the Coach Online Office. You're going to get confused with like pages and ads and boosting and what is all that. Ignore it right now. If you're new, focus on the 3 vital behaviors first. Once you've mastered them and done them consistently and have a gauge of how it works, then you start moving on and you start kind of expanding, because it can be very overwhelming.
What do you recommend, Meg, when you have your 3 invites every day? When you get those no responses, do you follow up with them later, or do you just say, okay, that was my 3 for that day, and I'll follow up with them in 2 months?
Exactly. That's what I do.
Yep.
I wait a few months. I don't hear from somebody. I just went through my list, my charts from September and October, and I looked at people that I had invited and that hadn't responded. And I went back and I said, and I put it on myself, and I say, hey, how are you? I'm so sorry. It's taken me so long to check back in with you. I've been thinking about you. How are things going? Put it on yourself. I'm so sorry I haven't checked in with you sooner. Even though they're the ones who ignored me, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to say, hey, I've been thinking about you. I wanted to extend another invitation to my challenge, to my online fitness accountability group. Would you like me to add you? That's it. I go back and I'll do that back from, 3 or 4 months ago. And then if they continue to ignore me, whatevs, I'll just keep inviting. But that's what I do every Sunday night, is I go in and I map out my whole week, who I'm going to invite. And like, for example, this last week, I didn't have a lot of likes to my page, and I friend requested a lot of people and they didn't accept. So typically those would be the people who I would put in my invite list. But since I didn't have any last week, I went back to my old forms from like September and October, and I looked at who I invited and who didn't respond. And that's who I'm inviting this week.
Yep.
I was curious how you did it compared to how I did it. That's about how I do it too. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
Minus the fact that tracking is new for me.
Yeah.
That's great.
I
have to track.
Tracking, but let me tell you, it has made a huge, huge difference. Thank you,
Yeah.
and Sherilyn.
Nicole, since this is being recorded for new coaches, can you just explain a little bit about what tracking is?
Well, yeah, because it depends on what form you want to use. Whether, like, I use a Power of 3 tracker. There's a couple I know in Team Inspiration, but basically you're tracking yourself. So it'll start with you personally, whether you're, write down that you did your Shakeology that day and then you posted about it. Write down that you did your workout that day and you posted about it. Write down that you posted something motivational or life experience or something like that and you posted about it. And then with the business, when you do your 3 invites, write those 3 invites down. And that's the bare minimum. Like, I recommend doing like 10 more if you're really wanting to move the business. I've learned that very quickly also. And write down who those people were. Have like a separate sheet where you're writing down who those people are that you spoke to, and then next to it, what they responded with, if they responded, what the date was, like all of that stuff, and move on from there. And if they eventually, order a challenge pack or become a coach, obviously you put them where you need to put them, and you're still tracking, but it's vital. And I'm telling you this from experience, I spent 2 days, I think, scrolling like a year and a half worth of Facebook messages. It was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it by searching the program topic because, and I'm like, this is stupid. Why I did, but I have it in my head. And now that my business is growing bigger, you can't keep it in your head. You might as well just track from day one, and you never have to worry about it. Don't do what I did.
I agree. I think that's great. I think that tracking is huge. No matter what you do, as long as you're writing it down and you can go back and reference it in 6 months, because you're going to forget who you talked to in August, who you talked to in July, so if you can go back and that's the thing too, is Messenger. What if something were to happen to Messenger and we lost Messenger? We would be up a shit's creek. So we have to write down who we're talking to. And that's why everyone that I've noticed, including the elites, are focusing on email, getting email addresses, because then you can always have a link to that person if Facebook Messenger went away.
That's a good idea. I didn't think about email.
Yeah. I hate email, but
me too.
It's the new thing to go to.
Okay, I think we have some really good info. Does anybody else have any other questions they wanted to ask tonight? Anything you want to add, Meg or Sherilyn?
No, I think that was a lot of good information. Quickly.
Sorry, I was breaking up. Hopefully it could be somewhat understood.
I think for the most part it was good. There was only like a minute or two where it got...
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop the recording and I'll get this posted for everybody. I'll do it right now because otherwise I'll never do it. All right, guys.
All right. Thank you, guys.
21-day fix event on Thursday night is our next thing.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.